mentioned the
No, Scratch, you're gonna debate
uh,
Tank.
no, Renil has like Renil needs somebody to steel man like the Trump position or the immigration position.
Do I
So.
really?
No, you're gonna debate Tank.
Yeah.
Shut
Oh,
up.
we'll do that later.
Yeah, do
Fine.
that in Discord.
What's up,
Hey,
Tank?
Tank.
What's going on? Did you guys see the good news about China today with Trump negotiating like a man?
I have
Did you
to
see what he
say,
did?
What did Donald
contradict
Trump?
you there,
What did Donald Trump negotiate?
Oh, where China's gonna buy soybeans again. Lots of them.
buddy? So create a
Wait,
problem and then fix the problem you created.
Yeah, wow. Let me celebrate the president doing the bare minimum. True.
Well, I don't think it's the bare minimum. You know, he's kicking China's
Wait,
ass
no,
in
just be clear,
trade.
Tank. We recognize he created the soybean
True.
problem, right?
Not really. China's
Not
got
really.
huge trade issues with the United States.
He created these like soybean issues, though. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they need us for food. It turns out we can starve them out.
Wait, here I'm gonna ask the question again because you're still
Do you-
very scared to
okay,
answer this
okay.
question. You realize like Trump created the soybean problem, yeah?
Yeah, in your brain, yes, that is correct.
No, not in my brain. Like
Well,
following these.
well, we didn't
tariffs,
really have a
China started to get
soybean problem.
Following these tariffs, China was
Sounds
buying
like-
soybean from Argentina
yeah.
instead of America.
Right, it sounds like China had a soybean problem, not the United States after all. Sounds like we had the upper hand.
So once again, do we recognize like the American soybean problem was started by Donald Trump? Yeah.
No. The China soybean problem was started by Donald Trump. Absolutely.
What is it?
Which China's soybean problem? They just
Yeah,
transferred who they bought from.
sounds
We
like they
can't-
ran out of
Here's the
food.
issue, Tank. We couldn't transfer who we sell to, but they were able to transfer who they bought from.
Yeah, and it turns out they couldn't buy enough. Turns out they needed us for
Okay,
food
here,
and
I'm
other
reading an
things.
excerpt
It's more
from
than
here. I'm
soybeans
reading
too.
an excerpt from the report about this meeting. China successfully used the rare earths export controls and soybean embargo to force the U.S. to lower tariffs.
Whoa.
China forced us to lower tariffs. He kind of made Trump his bitch, no?
Huh. Who said that?
This is from Tobin Marcus. He's a Wolf research strategist.
Oh. I bet he's a Kamala voter. He sounds like one. Sounds like a
Why?
candy girl.
You sound like a Trump voter.
Oh.
Because he reported the
Yeah,
news
I agree.
accurately.
Well, no, he used some buzzwords that you inject into vocabulary when you're a
Wait, I'm
complete
sorry.
leftist asshole.
Does the Democrats use the term rare earths? That seems like
No,
something
no.
that was strictly started by
There was
Donald
words
Trump.
after that you might have just glossed over, but your brain takes them
Here,
in.
I'll say the whole sentence again. China
Yeah.
successfully used the rare earths export controls and a soybean embargo to force the U.S. to lower tariffs. What about
What was the
with
leftist
Democrat
language
lingo?
there?
Yeah.
Well, I would say force. Force was probably one of those leftist words that were just in
Does
there.
leftist word mean like really inconvenient for my entire worldview? So I'm just gonna ignore it. Is that what the leftist word is?
Well, it sounds like the United States had the upper hand here. We starved China out of
This
food.
literally sounds
Just
the
out
opposite
of
that.
curiosity, do you still have a black spot on the top of your head from when your mom put cigarettes on top of your fucking soft spot? Or
My mom was in healthcare, so she did not smoke. That's bad for
well,
you.
then I don't know
why was she
what the
putting
fuck
out
she was doing
cigarettes
to
on
your
her head?
soft
Was she
spot
just doing
then,
that as
but there's-
punishment?
I'm just wondering if there's still a mark on top of
Give
your head.
it a good,
Yeah, that's
good massage every day.
educated response. It makes you
get
sound-
down in there.
You got the upper hand on me on that one. Good job. Good job.
Yeah,
So you guys
wait,
excited
I'll
about this
take-
soybean thing? I mean, it's something to celebrate, right? Or you guys just hate
No,
American
I'm
I'm gonna read
farmers?
another excerpt from here.
Wait, I thought this was my guy.
Beijing had
I just
surprised the White
intake,
House with
intake. I
strict
just-
export controls on
Wait,
rare
wait.
earths ahead of the meeting between Trump and Xi, exploiting the dominance of the global supply chain to gain leverage over Washington.
Okay,
Gain
just wait, I have a
leverage.
point I wanna make.
Yeah, it's kind of written as if you're a Kamala voter.
I have a point I want to
communist.
make. Okay.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Okay, I just want to be
So
clear.
silly.
Sorry, I just
Yeah.
want to be clear. Your logic is okay. Problem, okay, wait. Do you think that Biden created the border problem? You think that Biden
Absolutely.
created all the
Well, no, the Democrats
Okay.
did. Biden didn't really know what he
So the
where he
Democrats,
even was.
the Democrats did. Okay.
Yes.
You acknowledge that border encounters went massively down throughout later 2023 and 2024.
No, not really. Well, I don't know. It depends on how
Not
you
really.
define
Wait,
a
they went
border
down by
encounter.
200,000. What do you mean not really?
They went down by what?
Like 200,000.
Oh, yeah. What may have been going on then? Did Kamala finally
the
become
ending
the
of Title
border czar?
42. But I'm just,
Right.
I'm just asking you. So you would say that's a win for the Democrats? You said that's a good thing. We should be celebrating Joe Biden.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give them that very small, minute little thing that they realized they were getting their asses kicked on the border.
Or would you probably?
I mean, how many do you think came in over Biden's
Wait, no.
era? You think millions?
In tank.
How many illegals
finish?
came over the border?
Are you gonna keep pivoting the conversation, or are we gonna?
No, I'm just trying to keep it realistic.
No, you're pivoting to something else. I'm not talking about.
Wait, could you
So
spell
hopefully you
realistic?
No, we were just talking about the border, and you want to make it sound like
So
it was
in
completely
tank-
under control
so
and not
you'd
millions and
agree-
millions
Strike
of people
everything. Wait, hold on.
across.
Strike everything from the record from that response except for no. I asked, can he spell
True.
realistic, and he said no. And
Yeah,
then
I'm
he
not in
said,
school,
okay.
so yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
yeah.
In take, you would agree with me that, like, using that logic, at least the way I framed what happened under Biden should have come to immigrants. We probably should not give Biden credit because him and the party created a problem and just solved it. He did the bare minimum. That's not something we should really be
You
celebrating.
didn't solve
anymore.
anything. Trump's solving it now. Trump, like usual, the Republicans have to clean up the Democrats.
Wait, you're going back
Shit.
on a prior statement you made. You said we should.
Objection.
You said that he did do something.
Yeah, he let in millions,
Acknowledge that border
millions,
counters went down.
and
You
millions.
acknowledge that border
flood
counters.
this
You
country.
acknowledge that border counters went down in late 2023 and early 2024. So now you're going back to what you said.
Yeah, they went slightly down,
which is
but I
it?
mean, they were still rocketing high. I mean, it's just like a crack addict saying,
They
"Oh,
weren't.
Do
I
rockets go up
I
or
was
down?
doing whatever, like 20 rugs a day, but now I'm down to 18 rugs a day. Oh, look at me, I'm on my way to recovery."
Okay, but yeah, so we would agree that we shouldn't give
Yeah.
somebody credit for a problem that they created, right?
Uh,
We shouldn't
I-
give somebody credit for fixing a problem they created. Yes.
so you're trying to relate this to soybeans?
Can you answer the question?
Am I giving credit? I'm not following you.
We should give somebody credit for a problem they created.
Yeah, the Democrats created the border crisis. Yes.
Okay, this is a yes or no question.
Okay. Well, I'm clearly
We
not
shouldn't
following.
give somebody credit for a problem they created.
We shouldn't
Yeah, it's
give
pretty obvious,
somebody
okay.
credit for a problem
Yes.
they created.
Would you agree with me on that? Would you agree with me on that?
We
Yes or
should
no?
give somebody credit for the problem they created.
We shouldn't give somebody credit
Yes.
for solving.
Oh,
For
solving.
solving a
You missed that
problem
word.
that they
Oh, you
created.
should have said that word.
Okay, I actually said it in the 5 previous times I asked the question.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
sure.
As far as the Democrats go, right. If you think that,
What about as
2%.
far as the Republicans go?
Okay, so I'm glad we agree. So we
Yeah.
shouldn't give Donald Trump credit for solving a
for
problem that he
Democrats.
created.
well, I don't agree
No.
with your
He said
premise.
insofar as the Democrats go.
Yeah.
He makes an exception for the
Oh,
Republicans. You
I don't agree with your premise that Donald Trump created some trade war with China. China started this war decades ago, and now we're just fixing it, or attempting to at least fix it. Unlike Democrats who just make things usually worse and bend over.
China was refusing to buy soybeans decades ago. When?
Oh no! Overall, China's been a trade problem. You know they steal
Oh, no,
all our
okay,
IP.
We were talking specifically about soybeans. I don't know why you're trying to pivot on something else. So
That was a very
you
slick
agree-
pivot, by the way. That was a
I'm
very
not trying to
nice.
pivot on anything. I'm trying to educate you that China is a big problem in a lot of
Yes,
markets.
you are.
And actually, they're not a problem in soybeans. That was never the problem. That was
You're just like
a tool.
party, dude. You're just a partisan.
I just don't think you
Hold different standards
understand
to the Democrats and
reality,
Republicans.
logic. or
You just
reason.
hold different standards.
Whole different standards.
Donald Trump-
So we had the upper hand on soybeans.
Like Donald Trump could literally
China.
Donald Trump could literally
Why
Donald Trump
does-
could go to the bathroom, shit on the fucking mess the toilet, shit on the floor, scoot
Yeah.
it back up, put it in the toilet, and he'd be like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my
Yeah.
god, you solved the fucking. There's no more shit on the
Thank
floor
God,
anymore.
no more shit on
And
the
then
floor.
Don-
So
and
I'm
then-
trying to talk about
and then
China
Biden does
stealing
it, and
our
they're like,
IP,
I can't
and
believe- there's a shit smear.
But
on
you're
the floor.
talking
I
about
can't believe this shit.
my 8-year-old talks about poop, and my 5-year-old's
Do
like
you know what
talking
an
about poop
analogy
too.
is?
Maybe you should take some tips, all right? It sounds like your
Yeah.
8-year-old's probably smarter than you are, buddy.
He
Yeah.
probably is. He's an extremely bright boy, very bright kid. But
Please
you know
clip that. Holy shit! Please clip that.
what? That my child is.
Please
We just had conferences tonight, and yeah, it went very well. He's pretty much the best kid in the class.
Oh my god, who says that?
Just telling you how conferences work.
Please clip.
Yeah, he's pretty much the best kid in the class.
Oh, I'm glad.
He even got an award for respect out of the whole third grade class, all of the third
I
graders.
bet he could
got
spell
it.
realistic.
Yeah, he's actually going to be in a spelling bee, I think, here soon. So he probably could.
Wow.
Wow.
I think it has a Z
Passing
in
the
it.
tops of the mountains that you could never dream of. It's very
Yeah.
impressive.
I don't live by mountains, so I don't see mountains very often.
Yeah,
But sure.
You're on a flat plain, or maybe
No.
in the Mariana Trench. I don't know which.
I'm in Wisconsin. We've got a variety of hills and flatness and hills, and it's all over the place. We got a big lake
Flatness
that we
and
live
hills.
next to. A big, really big lake. Huge. Lots of water.
Which big lake?
Lake Michigan, sir.
Okay. I thought, I living next to the Superior Lake.
No,
is
that's
usually
that's
better.
way up north. No.
Wink, wink.
That's like a sea. That's got more water in it than I think any other lake. I think it's
All right,
it's very
Mr.
deep too. Yeah, I just wanted to rub it in
Anybody
that
else?
Donald Trump is winning, and all we do is win, win, win. Put my hands up, and you
Like
guys
the
seem
2020
really.
election?
We're
Do you
winning.
remember
You guys
winning
seem
that?
a little butthurt
Can't
about
stop winning.
the China thing. You
We
guys
have
seem
increased
like you don't
inflation. We can't
understand
stop
it.
winning. We have increased unemployment. We can't stop winning. Dismal jobs.
All
We
numbers are
can't
down.
stop winning. And you're gonna
Inflation
say
is at
no.
2.9%, down from 25% overall through Biden. Some years we're at 9-10%. So I think
Wait, why the fuck are you
2.9%.
talking? Wait,
Why are we
overall?
comparing month to month to year to year?
Oh
What?
no, these are year-to-year numbers.
Why do
so-
people do this? Well, if we look at the
my
month
numbers
to
are
month of
year to
Trump,
year.
It's way less.
Year.
But if we look at year to
Yeah.
year, like
Oh.
what are we doing?
Yeah, it's year. So it's 2.9% on the year versus like 9%
Yeah,
for
sorry.
Joe
When I
Biden.
say inflation is up,
Yeah.
I'm saying is that because of Trump's tariffs, and this is exactly what Jerome
That's
Powell
not
said.
where
that
inflation comes from.
inflation,
Yeah.
and can I finish? Inflation has gone up from 2.4% to 3% this month. It's probably
Well, it's
gonna
not
continue
because
to
of
go up.
tariffs, though. I don't see
Yes,
how
it is.
tariffs could
It couldn't have been
inflate
Donald
the
Trump.
currency.
No.
Tariffs tariffs
Wait,
usually help
how can you
reduce
not
inflation.
see how tariffs? How can you not see how tariffs inflate the currency?
Because I'm pretty much an MBA accountant.
Okay,
Okay.
that
But-
didn't answer my
You're
question
lying.
at all.
Yeah. Well, I kind of know a lot about this. Then is basically my cocky answer.
Yeah, I'm sure you know a lot about a lot of stuff.
Oh, I know a lot about
how are
economic
tariffs-
things. I'm
how are
pretty.
tariffs
Yeah,
not
I'm sure you know how to
inflationary
spell realistic.
No,
too.
tariffs are not inflationary. Usually they suck the money back, which they slow inflation. So they're sucking the money back from the people as the government
Can you
handed out a
describe how
little
that
too
happens?
much. It's a tax
Can you-
on imports.
Yeah.
So when you tax an import, the importer pays that and then passes it down the supply
pays for
chain.
that?
Just out of curiosity, what do you
Everybody
expect to happen to prices
that wants to buy
when
that-
a good is tariffed?
That product. Well, it depends on the product. If it's a foreign-made product that we can make in the United States,
Is there
heck
any,
yeah, it
is
should
there
be
any
more.
product? Is there any product that will ever be tariffed and the price will go down?
No, I never said it would.
Okay, so
That's
what
not
happens
inflation,
to the price
though.
of tariffed goods? I'm gonna ask that same question again.
Sure, they would increase by the tax that's put on them.
Okay, if a domestic company uses a tariffed good to make their product, what is
Right.
going to happen to the price of that product?
Their cost of goods sold would increase. So, yeah, it might increase the product as well.
Okay.
Usually, it's put on
So what's-
final
what-
products, not much
So
What's the
you
ingredient.
guys
benefit
are
you're
like
looking for?
terrified to answer whether or not the price of the good would go up?
What
Yeah,
you want to know? What the
12
benefit of tariffs are? It's well, there's
No, I want to know,
multi-pronged.
would the price of the good go up?
Possibly.
Well, no, wait.
Yes, and your hypothetical.
how not
Yeah, we'll just say
necessarily?
yes for your hypothetical.
Okay. What are the benefits of these tariffs?
Well, one, it can control inflation because it sucks money back to the government, which doled it out. So it sucks money back from the people. Two, it creates, it helps U.S. markets. So I'm in the manufacturing sector. So this China can make, like, say, a widget for $7. I can buy it for China for $7.
Yeah.
I can't make it for under 24. And this is a realistic example. So this thing that I can make is $24. I can buy it from China for $7. They're not really playing, the fairest trade here because they're artificially keeping their product prices low. So if we put a tariff on that product, then we have a free market again in the United States, theoretically through tariffs.
Renil,
Okay.
he said
Wait, no,
something
let him.
interesting.
No,
I want
no,
to
no.
put out.
Let him give the whole thing. Let him give
Okay, sure.
his whole argument.
Well, that's the crux of those two issues. And then you can use it for trade deals as well, as Trump did on the other way with soybeans. You can starve a country out, quote unquote. So you put a tariff on one thing and you say, hey, I got leverage on your soybeans, motherfuckers. So do you want to starve or you want to buy soybeans again? So it's another way of doing it.
Okay. So
These arguments
just real quick. Wait, no,
contradict
just real quick.
already,
Stop,
but-
stop.
Just real quick. It's
Okay.
very ironic to me that MAGA people are arguing for higher taxes because the money is going to come out of the markets and go to the government. That's not something that I've ever heard MAGA argue for in my
Right.
life. So that's oddly convenient that this is the one time we want higher taxes. it helps U.S. markets. It can't help U.S. markets and negotiate trade deals at the same time. Those two are mutually exclusive, right? If you get a trade deal out of a tariff, it's going to get rid of the tariff as it affects the U.S. markets. And again, the U.S. doesn't specialize in low priority widgets, right? The U.S. will import a widget and then make a higher level good out of it. So what you're doing by tariffing the widget is increasing the price of domestic goods because we use those widgets to make higher level products, right? So what you're actually doing in the name of helping U.S. markets is raising the prices because you're increasing the input costs for certain manufacturers.
Right.
And if you are in manufacturing, which I actually don't believe because you gave us a different job title like 5 seconds ago, but if you were in manufacturing, I feel like you would know that.
What? Yeah, I own a manufacturing company.
Okay. Can I?
I thought you were an accountant.
Can I question about something or?
Wait, what?
Huh? Yes, you can.
Okay, cool.
Stop. Everyone
Yeah,
stop.
I'm one of those
Cool.
too.
So
usually when you own a business, you're pretty much an accountant.
Okay, cool. Intake. So
you have
an MBA accountant, but okay. So intake. I
said I was basically an MBA accountant.
No, sorry, this is Adam.
And then
This is Adam Silver.
said I'm
Anyway,
going to
I don't care what your degree is. So
I don't have a degree.
Okay, cool. Shut up.
Intel.
Shocker.
So intake. You
Yes.
said.
Yes.
You said that there was a tax, like they're getting revenue from tariffs, therefore
Yes.
it's disinflationary. What's going to be the argument from that? Because it seems like taxes, insofar as they're disinflationary, are there because they decrease demand. Imported goods are produced abroad; they're not produced here, so there's no capacity or demand constraints on the price of the good.
Yeah, I mean,
So
there's
what's
a lot
the
going on here.
argument that
So
it's going to decrease the
okay, so yeah, the
inflation
quote unquote
rate.
tax, the tariff, is taken by the government. So that's sucking money back from the people, from the economy, back to the government,
Well,
who
it's
just
not from the economy,
overborrowed
right?
the crap out of money.
It's not from the economy; it's imported goods.
Well, it comes.
It's not produced in the economy.
It's not magical money. It has to come from somewhere.
No. So, okay, what do you not understand that I'm saying right now?
I guess I don't understand anything. Well,
Okay,
I
I'll
thought
draw
I
it out
understood what
for
you were
you then,
saying,
okay?
but I don't
I'll
think
draw
you
it out
understand
for
what
you.
you were saying.
I'll draw it out for you. Okay?
Yeah,
There are imported goods we buy. Imported goods are not produced by us.
Correct.
You understand that, right?
yes, sir.
So when we import goods and we tax them, we're necessarily increasing input costs and we're raising revenue for the government, but we're not taxing any domestic demand to reduce it.
Nick,
We're
he's making
taxing
an
foreign
MMT argument.
demand.
Yeah, that's kind of a twofold
No,
thing.
Nick. He's saying that like taxes are used.
No,
to,
I know
like,
the argument he's trying to make. It's just not correct.
Okay, I understand.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't even like wait. Just intake.
He's saying
Do you think we
taxes.
should like
no, scratch.
intake? Do you think we should?
Let
wait, I
Nick
just want to ask him a
go.
question.
Holy
Don't
shit.
undercut him.
Okay.
Don't undercut him. Let Nick go.
Intake.
we not have
You
any
are saying that
self-control?
taxes are a way to combat inflation, correct?
Tariffs
suck
are a
money
way
out
to
of the
combat
system.
inflation. Tariffs specifically are.
Tariffs are a tax, fine.
Yes, sir.
So here's the issue. Tariffs are taxes on foreign goods. Foreign
Right.
goods are bought by consumers,
Yep.
but that's not decreasing demand for productive capacity in our economy. If our economy was overheated, for instance, and we wanted to increase taxes to reduce demand to ease pressure on our productive capacity, that would be a good policy because it would ease pressure on domestic demand. Foreign goods are necessarily imported. They're produced by other countries. They're not produced by us. It's countries' other productive capacities. It's not
Yeah.
ours. So I'm
there's-
asking, what's the argument for this inference you're making?
Well, there's two things, twofold. One, when you tax a product, you suck the money back out of the U.S. supply and you give it back to the government who overborrowed, so then it can pay down its debt, hopefully. That's one thing, and that's how you lower inflation. The second thing is to control markets or help U.S.-based manufacturers. Yes, I agree that we're not going to make all
That one-
widgets, especially
that doesn't reduce inflation.
like small widgets, small electronics. Heck yeah, let China and Asia do that. They do that well. We don't. We suck at it. We can't do it for
So
cost.
I don't see how
get it.
this is engaging with the argument
Why
that I
are we
just made.
tariffing them then?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
so
we
I don't see
are.
how this is engaging with the argument I made.
I don't think we
Can you
are.
engage with the argument I made, or do you want to try and pivot to something else?
We have very
You
targeted
sound like
and
you're both
specific
talking about
tariffs
each
on I don't know that every
Bullshit.
product classification
What the
code.
fuck?
Wait. Okay.
They didn't just
sorry,
put a
I'm
Did you
tariff on
see
all of
Liberation
China.
Day?
Whoa,
okay.
everybody, stop.
Am I
Stop
allowed
yelling
to
at
talk?
me.
Because I literally barely. Like, how at the same time, how are we making targeted and strategic tariffs to negotiate with countries at the same time? It's supposed to be like some kind of long-term policy to reduce inflation and pay down the debt. Can you
Well, I
explain
mean-
how both of those things don't contradict?
I don't know the specifics of every single tariff, but some say there's these blanket tariffs on everything from China, which I don't believe is correct. And I haven't seen any price increase to prove
Wait, then
that
how are
it's
you gonna
correct.
wait? How are you gonna get enough?
CPI
Sorry, how are you gonna get enough revenue? How are you gonna get enough revenue to pay down the debt and suck
They're
as
not
you say,
going to
suck money
pay
out of
down the
economy?
debt from it.
If they're
There's-
only
yeah.
these are wait.
No, sorry.
Wait, that's what you just said. That was your argument 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, I understand.
Here's
If
the
you
issue.
listen to what I said,
You're
is
contradicting your own
hopefully they will
arguments.
use it to pay down some of the debt. They're not going to
Oh
pay
my
down
God.
all of the debt with tariffs. I didn't say that.
I said,
insane,
how much? How are they gonna
The-
get enough money to pay down the debt at all?
The U.S. has about a $4 trillion problem right now where it doled out about $4 extra trillion, or 3. With interest, let's put it up to 4. So it's got to go fetch that. Otherwise, things might get pretty bad here. Tariffs seem like
Okay,
an
so-
reason to do
Dude, the
that.
deficit per year is like 235 billion. How are you gonna get enough money from fucking tariffs to pay down the debt and suck money out of
It's way more
reduce
than
the
that.
total,
We're almost
supply-
at $38 trillion
I
of
said
debt.
per. I said the deficit, and I said per year. Okay, so maybe listen to my words right now.
Yeah, I
Before
understand what
you do that.
deficit is, and
So
I
how
would
are
think
we
our
gonna-
debt
okay,
is going
so-
up by more
yeah,
than
so maybe
$200
listen
billion
to my-
a
so
year.
maybe listen to what I'm fucking saying. Instead of
Well,
just
I don't
immediately
think you're
saying,
correct.
Oh, the debt's way more than that.
Hang on.
The debt is
So-
at $38
Okay.
trillion. About 10 years ago, what was it? Do the math. That's how much
I
the
said
deficit
deficit,
is
and I
raising
said per year, and you're talking about the debt.
Because
So
the
can you
math
actually
doesn't
respond
math,
to
my
it?
friend. The math doesn't math.
I said,
Insane.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm
our-
looking for the argument in response to my question. If there is imported goods which are not produced here, not subject to domestic demand price influxes,
Yeah.
what is the argument that increasing taxes on inputs, foreign
Yeah.
inputs, is going to help ease the price of inflation? Because inflation is not a money supply phenomenon.
Yeah, I'll say again, I don't think those products are tariffed.
No, okay. Here's the issue: you're arguing tariffs will raise
Yes.
revenue, and
Specific
then therefore
tariffs.
decrease. Hang on, are you gonna let me finish or not?
Just trying to clarify my point for you because I think you're
So
confused.
tariffs are going to be subject to goods. We're going to subject goods to tariffs, and that we're going to use that revenue to pay off debt or whatever. I'm asking for the argument that that's going to be disinflationary, because tariffs, imported goods are imports. They're not produced here. They're not subject to our domestic demands. In fact,
Yeah.
if anything, imported goods would help ease inflation because we can buy more from abroad, easing the productive capacity limits in our own economy.
It
So
wouldn't
I'm
do
looking for
anything.
the argument that responds to that for the last
Because
5
it's
minutes. I have.
okay. So the money comes from the United States to buy these goods. These goods are
Also,
bought
just to be
by
incredibly
U.S.
clear, there's a
companies and then
10%
by
baseline tariff
Yeah,
on
there
every
is.
Holy
country.
cow.
So I don't know what the fuck we're talking about with these targeted tariffs. The
know
10%
if anybody
baseline
wants-
on every single country. So I don't know what the fuck where you've been since April 5th. But I would suggest you crawl out of whatever cave you've been living in since then.
And Insync, you can unmute, by the way, now. You can respond to my argument.
Oh, I didn't notice that you used the fascist mute button, but I should have realized it by now.
Okay, are you going to respond? Or
Right.
Are you gonna...
Well, okay,
Yeah,
so
you
the
got
money to buy these imported products that have tariffs on them comes from the United States. This is U.S. money, right?
Yeah, okay,
So that,
how is that an argument?
Right. So that tax then gets levied by the government and goes back to the government. That is sucking money out of the U.S. economy, which
No.
controls our crazy inflation that we had under
How?
Democrats
I'm
because they
asking
spent
how.
about
You're
$3
just repeating
extra
the same
trillion
thing.
dollars.
I gave a rebuttal to this. Respond
Holy
to my
cow.
rebuttal.
I
Respond
guess
to my
I don't know how to
rebuttal. You're just
describe it
repeating a
any more
tautological statement
clearly,
of what you
but
just said.
you just
Right, so-
interrupt me again. So sure.
So here's the issue, Insync.
There's no
There is
issue.
imported goods that
Mhm.
we are getting that would probably ease any demand constraint in our economy.
No.
So when we collect taxes, we're necessarily
Yeah.
increasing the price of inputs for tariffed goods, which will almost always affect the price of outputs on goods and services produced. So I'm looking for the argument that this is going to be disinflationary.
Yeah, I'll explain it
Because-
again. It's not.
because
It doesn't have
would
anything
ease-
to
it
do
would
with
ease
demand or
constraints in the
anything.
US.
Just flooding
Okay.
the U.S. with cheap products does not help inflation. Okay, the government spent
What?
about $3 extra trillion and sent it out into the United States market.
So-
that
so-
money
so
is still
insane.
floating around. The United States
Insane.
government needs that money back, or inflation will go absolutely nuts. Tariffs are
Insane.
one way to get that money back. How is this hard to understand?
Insync, yeah. I think it's just trivially true. If you flood the market with cheap products, the
No,
goods are going to cost
money.
less.
Money. You're thinking
How does that
products
respond
as
to what I just said?
It,
What was-
it doesn't
what was-
matter.
what was-
Inflation
what
was
the thing I
caused
just
by
said? How does that respond?
money being flooded into the economy, not products. Money.
What was the thing I just said, and how does that
Oh.
respond? Insync, you can
You've
take the.
muted me again. Money was
Yeah,
flooded
I'm
into
gonna
the
go.
economy,
Have fun.
not products, dude.
I will continue to do that until you
Have fun,
engage.
you know.
All right. Well, when you meet, you lose.
Love you, Rennie. I hate this.
Okay, so the United States flooded the economy with a $3 trillion. This has nothing to do with products, goods, or anything, services. This has everything to do with US dollars. They overborrowed by about $3 trillion extra, sent that into the US economy. It's still floating around, sucking that money back in from the United States government, where it generated from, controls inflation, which we have seen.
Yeah.
Inflation is down to
So
2.9%.
do you understand the implication there? Do you even know the implications of the argument you're making? Because the implication of the argument you're making is that there'd be excess demand that would be pushing up prices because it's pushing against our productive capacity. Now, when you say that there's
Inflation's up, by the way,
yeah, inflation is up because we're tariffing goods.
by
but
7/10 since April.
Wow, 7/10. So it's not 9% anymore, like it was under Democrats, right? So we're fairly doing a
Just to
lot
be
better
super
job.
clear, September
do you
of
know a
2024,
normal?
inflation was at 2.4%.
Yeah.
September of 2025, inflation's at 3%.
So basically,
What are we talking about?
okay, go back from 21, go to 21, go to 22. So Democrats had about okay. Well, you keep muting me, so I can't talk. Why don't you look at an inflationary year by year graph, and you can do the math.
Can you answer questions?
Inflation in September of 2024 was at 2.4%. Now, this year in September,
Right
it
before
was
an election.
3%.
Funny. Yeah, you know what a
that
normal
doesn't respond to
inflation
my
rate
question
is?
at all.
It's
Wait.
about 2% is a normal
What
inflation
was
rate.
this question? How the fuck does that?
Oh, why
respond
don't
to
you
it?
look at
Holy shit.
23, 21, 22? Why are you scared to look at those numbers? Oh, I muted again. The fascist mute button is back.
Listen, you're about to get a fascist kick
Oh
button.
my.
Bro. Just answer my question.
True.
Listen,
Well, when you
how
mute
does
me,
this-
you may not
how did
hear
you
the
respond to my
answers to these
question?
basic questions, but you should look at an inflation
how
rate
did
Are you going to
respond
answer
to
yes or
my
no?
year
and
over
say,
year.
"Well, fuck"?
What? I don't even know what the question is anymore. You guys are so confused.
Okay.
You guys are so
Okay,
confused. I don't know what you asked me.
Well, you're coming up with these
True.
three things at once. One, you don't understand inflation. That's clear, and that's okay. Inflation is one of those little tricky ones
So
for younger
last
minds.
year,
I get
September of 2024, inflation was at 2.4%.
it. Yeah. What was it
Today,
in 23?
September of 2025, it's at 3%.
What was it in
How can it be the
23?
case that inflation's down?
What was it in 23?
So what's the relevancy of 2020?
You're
Wow,
kind of
that doesn't
scared to
answer
go
my
back
question
to
at
what the
all.
Democrats were doing. Well, first of all, a number before an election
Okay,
is
insane. So
quite
you're pivoting
interesting
right
to
now. Do you
always
understand
look
what a
at.
pivot is? That's not a
No, there's no
response to
pivot.
the
You're just
question that was
scared.
asked
I mean, I
you.
could look it up for you, but I don't want to humiliate
Just to be
you too
super
much.
clear, like November of 2023 was at 3.1%, so about the same as it is currently.
Yeah, no.
But,
Overall, year to year, let's see, it went to 7, 8, 9% collectively. It was about
You want to look at
25% for
September
the
of
Democrats.
2020? Like you're just looking at September of 2020. You can keep running the date back. Hey, we can go back to the fucking 80s when
was
Reagan
9%
had
or
9%
20 yeah,
inflation,
this is
or
just
20,
stupid.
50%.
So how is it
Insane.
9% for one of those years under the
Insane.
Democrats? How did that
Insane.
happen?
You were asked a
And why are
question.
you
You should be
ignoring
able to
it?
respond to it unless you are
Well, you're gonna have to
insanely
answer the
intellectually
question
handicapped,
well
so you
again
can't
here.
respond to basic questions.
Oh, I've muted
Just to
again.
let you guys know, we could have just kicked him and pointed and laughed when he said that there was that all of these tariffs were targeted.
Yeah,
right?
I let you guys have this conversation.
yeah.
It's a really stupid conversation.
I agree.
So you think all of these tariffs are just blanket tariffs on an entire country? They're not
There's a
just on
10%
lumber,
baseline.
just
There's a
on
10%
soy.
baseline.
There's a
On
10%
which
there's
countries?
a 10% baseline.
On whom?
Baseline.
Every single country.
Oh, so a baseline, but then
there
then
are
we
certain
classify it by
exceptions
prior
to
after
energy
that.
resources, but besides that, there is a 10% baseline on everything.
There's 10%
And then
tariff
after
on
that,
literally every
then
single
after
thing.
that, there's targeted tariffs, correct?
Wait, so
Yes, that are
yes.
higher
Oh.
than
So
10%.
why do we have the
Gotcha.
10? Wait, hold on. If you're saying
Gotcha.
that you only support them if they're targeted, why is there a 10% blanket tariff?
Well, generally, you want to target tariffs. Why is there
So
a
that's not
10%?
from
generally,
Because
generally,
you're
if
wrong.
you
10%
generally
I don't
want to
know,
target
like I
tariffs,
told
why
you.
would- wait, hold on.
I told you I don't know
If you-
every
wait,
specific
I
tariff that's
understand-
going
I understand.
on. I just understand how they work.
The literally biggest tariff that he's put in place. I don't know how you don't know that this was a blanket tariff that was put in place on Liberation Day. Every single person that is an American knows about this, okay? So you're just lying to me when you say you don't know what this is. If we generally want to target tariffs, why the fuck would we put a 10% baseline?
Because we were starting trade negotiations with the country. Again, I don't know the specifics, so I'm just generalizing here. But yeah, again, I don't know the specifics, so I'm just generalizing here. Well,
Okay,
they lost
I
that
was super done.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm so done. Nick, you gotta use easy words, buddy.
dude, this is the issue.
No, and that
is
goes for everyone. Scratch was so. Holy fuck! Listen, my eyes were drooped over that entire conversation. That was so.
What was Scratch saying?
The idea or the fact of the matter is, I have no idea, and that's how frustrated I was. Like, unironically, I was super frustrated with every single one of you guys who were speaking.
Well,
These
how
were
the
super-
fuck are you
Wait, what did I
frustrated
do?
with me?
Wait,
Randall, you
What
weren't
did I
speaking.
do?
What the fuck?
You weren't
Excuse me?
speaking. If you weren't
just
speaking,
speaking.
then I'm
Okay,
not
thank
talking
you.
about you. Just to be super
I
clear.
was just Wait, hold on. What do
Wait, just
mean? I
now
was
you were
just
speaking. That was the end of the conversation. We were ahead.
I was speaking at the beginning of it too.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
You guys did a
You know.
phenomenal job. You let a conversation like that go on for 15 minutes. Hell of a job, kids.
There's a reason I stopped
30
talking. I think we should
30
have kicked him
minutes.
once.
'Cause we
he said
should have
that
kicked
we
him
were talking
already.
Tariffs. Yeah.
That's why I give you guys mob power, so that you guys can just be done with the conversation. And Randall, you were.
You told us not to do that.
No, I didn't.
I
I said
swear
if you're done with the
did.
conversation, you kick. If I'm letting you talk to somebody, you're basically the owner of the live.
Okay, well that's not clear. Okay, I just want to.
It is Nick, and I know that you know this because you were the
No,
first
I do
person I
not
told
know
about this rule.
I do not know this. That is.
You were
not
the first person I told about this rule, just to be super clear.
This is not true. This is not how.
Axel, what do you want to talk about? Axel,
Jews.
I don't want to talk about
Figures.
Jews. Thank you, though. Okay, I'm going to do a restart.
So what about the jobs being created in the U.S. because of tariffs? Show
What
me.
jobs?
Which ones? Yeah.
Scratch
Generally don't exist.
Bro,